This is Kyle Field from Little Wings. You're listening to KCPR San Luis Obispo.
KCPR San Luis Obispo, 91.3 FM. I hope you are detoxing and recovering from your St. Friday's endeavors. If you were partaking, you're tuned into the Breakfast Club. I will be on air. My name is SKAPE from 10 to 12, and I'm joined in the studio today with the lovely Ashton Blaiir. Ashton, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking.
Solid. Let me turn your mic up just a little bit.
Yeah.
So, what are you planning to do on air today?
I'm going to be playing a few songs of mine and one song that isn't mine. And, just have some fun.
Can you give us, before we get into it, kind of like a rundown of what your sound is, what we can expect?
Yeah, that question always, it's a funny one. I think it's so easy for me to funnel myself into, like, because I play with an acoustic guitar. It's like, oh, you're like a folk singer. But I think of it more as like evasive music, if that makes any sense. It definitely has like folk textures, but I think the melodies and the sounds of it kind of trying to reach beyond that.
Beyond folk?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Beyond.
What's the name of the first song you're going to be playing?
This one's called Train Song.
Train Song. All right, so we're going to listen to Train Song right here on KCPR. We'll be with Ashton for about an hour, just listening to a 5-song set, talking to him about the music, his upbringing, everything in between. So make sure you stay tuned here on KCPR. And when you're ready, let's just get a little sound check going. Yeah. All right, we should be good to go whenever you're ready.
This one's Train Song. I wonder what it's about. 1 o'clock at night, train is moving in. It's quite alright. She yells to the engine man who doesn't understand. She looks just like a neoclassic man, scraping up a penny or two for the paper. She counts a dime so she knows what she's made of. Oh, but tonight, a kissing cigarette left her alive. It's like he only meant to take a breath into. She counts to 3 before she can make it. She knows she can't take it to read about another rock star singing words she finds so cruel. Oh, so cruel. Yeah, you're not alright, but you know they're right. That's why you find them all cruel. 3 o'clock today, train is running late. He's stiff and closed, belongs in all of his occasional slightly occupational clothes. A solemn rain stains his new bouquet. It's not like him to fetch a reaction, but my God, this girl's an attraction you've never seen. He wants to share a scene. He knows his lines. This time he knows to keep it under 5. She'll say, lie to me. And just before he's slipping away, he'll say, I thought nothing about us. Most of all, I found you cruel. Oh, so cruel. Yeah, I had no patience on a New York station. That's why I left you. Oh, so cruel. Don't know where we'll go tonight. this train to the morning light. It's neither train or traffic that's kept you away from my lips. Oh, honey, it was only time.
Woo! That was awesome. That was awesome. So, what is your favorite part about songwriting?
I think it's like, this is the question or the answer everybody will probably give, but it's like expression, you know, because I think you can only go so far with normal.
Oh, do you mind talking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I think you can only go so far with normal sentences and words, so I think songwriting kind of pushes you to use your mind and use your vocabulary in a more kind of dynamic way, which everybody might not get as easy as like a normal sentence, but it means something more to you. So
totally,
that's what matters.
Do you view music as a language?
For sure, yeah. Language, not just linguistically, but you know, harmonically as well. It's definitely its own class, and it's like a dialect. Everybody's got like their own kind of relationship with it and communicating with it, but everybody kind of understands what it is, so for sure.
Yeah, cool. So I also wanted to bring up, you are new to San Luis Obispo.
I am.
You're a transfer student. What do you think of the music scene in San Luis Obispo?
Oh, it's lovely. I'm from San Jose, and I'm not the most tuned into the music scene there, but here I feel like the music scene so easily bleeds into what everybody is doing. It's such a big part of not just like the college experience, but like the slow experience here, and it's super cool. There's always like a show going on. There's always music, and it feels so tied to living here, and I think that's like, I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Where have you played so far in slow?
Really only at Front Porch. I'm trying to think if I did anything else. That's been the spot, really. I'm so gracious that they let me play there. That, you know, they like what I do.
I mean, Front Porch is so supportive of just any musician, any sort of creative endeavor, people just going there for community, free coffee. Front Porch is awesome, so that's cool. You've done an open mic there, is that right?
Yeah, I've done a few open mics, and then a few solo shows, and then one show with my band, actually.
What's the difference for you as a musician, like going to an open mic versus maybe your name being on the bill?
Yeah.
Like, do you kind of go into that in a different mindset?
Yeah, for sure. I think with an open mic, I really like open mics because I don't know how like healthy this is, but there's like an energy where it's like, okay, I have something to prove. And I think that kind of pushes, at least me, to really go all out, as opposed to, you know, you've got like a 50-minute set. I think in my head, at least, there's always like, you know, a little bit of leeway I can, you know, give or take. But with open mics, I feel like you go like 150% just because you have only so much time, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we are here with Ashton Blaiir. Ashton Blaiir from San Jose now is killing the music game in San Luis Obispo. We just listened to Train Song, and coming up next is Lampshade Blues. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about Lampshade Blues.
I wrote that one. Actually, that was the most recent one I wrote here. When I first got here a few months ago, it was really hard for me to write anything just because like I was in the hodgepodge and like bustle of everything. But one night I went to a party and then I came back at like 2 a.m. and then this came out like in one go, and it was so weird having that flow state again. And I was like, okay, it's in the dead of night. This is really cool. So that's Lampshade Blues.
You have to cherish those flow states as a musician, because sometimes you'll go like a long break. I make music too, and you'll go like this long break without being able to get into that.
Exactly.
And then once it comes, you're like, oh, finally.
Yeah, it's so euphoric.
Yeah, so let's listen to Lampshade Blues. We are here with Ashton Blaiir. We're going to have a quick break after the song, but make sure you stay tuned for more music on KCPR. You're tuned into the Breakfast Club. And Ashton, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Lampshade Blues.
That isn't to say, dear, that I wouldn't stay here. You make it hard to leave. But if I'd only knew you, I'd see right through you.
baby, then I'd grieve. Oh, my heart's in the right, and it's only for the night. But I know you'll follow me down to the road. Yeah, my baby, she's alive when there's no one left to die. Could you see me running back to her home, all alone? I take my advice and get what I like, but it's all just the same, another game to lose. I got the lampshade blues. I can't believe that it's true. I can't remember if I was ever without the lampshade blues. I could make it out the front door, but you try me just for one more. You make it hard to breathe, but the way you move around makes me glad I'm not in town, but not the one you mean. Oh, and all your loyal matrons come to strip me of my patience. Need to feel my way out of this hole. Oh, won't you please drop the rifle and pick up your holy Bible? Tell me how you ever find your way back home, all alone. I take my advice and get what I like, but it's all just the same, another game to lose. I got your lampshade blues. I can't believe that it's true. I can't remember if I was ever without your lampshade blues.
Hell yeah. That was the song at Front Porch that I heard and was like, I need to get this guy on KCPR. Tell me about your process in writing Lampshade Blues. That one seems a lot more folky than Train Song.
Yeah, for sure. That one's got a lot of like pastiches.
Can you talk to that mic?
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
All good.
Yeah, that one definitely has a lot more. I think it wears its influences on its sleeves. I was listening to a lot of like Hank Williams just on a whim because I'm like in a little tiny like country phase, if you couldn't tell. And
you're in the right town for that.
Yeah. When I had gotten back, I just started strumming, and then I don't know. I think my songwriting process, I always tell people, is like you're kind of like listening to what you hear in your head first, and then you're trying to follow that, as opposed to, I don't really like follow my fingers more, because it's so easy if you do that to like use patterns and shapes that you've been using like your whole life. So when you're using your head first, I think it kind of pushes you to push beyond what you normally do, which I think is really important.
That's a cool perspective on songwriting. I don't think I've heard that one before. When did you get to that point as a musician where you felt like you were able to articulate the ideas that are in your head?
Yeah, I think there's one song I remember I had woken up with the song in my head. I really wanted to write it out, and I remember that was a moment where I was like, oh, I think I can kind of do this well. That song, I won't be doing it today, but I do it sometimes. It's so old now. It's called Holly, but I remember when I had written that, I was like, oh, I can really say something and sound original, but at the same time feel good about what I'm saying. Because I think for a lot of songwriters starting out, it's so easy for them to give up or feel like kind of cringy about it. Cause it's like, it's a different way of expressing yourself, and, you know, naturally you're going to be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We have a break here on KCPR. Make sure you stay tuned. Just a couple minutes, and we'll be back with Ashton Blaiir This is DJ Escape on The Breakfast Club.
Life had a remote control. You could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Support for KCPR comes from
the San Luis Obispo International Film Festival.
The festival is taking place this year from April 25th to April 30th with an encore from May 1st to the 5th. The 6-day annual event showcases contemporary and classic film screenings in a wide variety of venues. More information can be found at slowfilmfest.org.
Support for KCPR is made possible by Boo Boo Records. Boo Boo Records offers a collection of CDs, vinyl records, and merchandise, along with live music events for the community. They can be found at 978 Monterey Street in downtown SLO between Morro and Osos, on the web at booboorecords.com and on Discogs at Boo Boo Records.
Hey, you like the song you're hearing?
Yeah, I love it. How can I find more like this?
Great question. You can check out more KCPR music off the airwaves on our Spotify.
No way! You have playlists for alternative, EDM, and hip-hop?
Yeah, and we put you on new artists, too.
Oh yeah, I'm going to follow KCPR on Spotify.
All right, gang, the food is ready.
Yay! What's for breakfast, Torstein?
Ooh, I bet it's soft-boiled eggs with the yolk intact.
Nope, Dave, try again.
Hash browns and fresh squeezed OJ?
Nope, Zoe. Nothing but sweet tunes and groovy beats to launch your day on The Breakfast Club on KCPR 91.3 FM.
The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Welcome back to KCPR. We're here with Ashton Blaiir from San Jose, now in San Luis Obispo as a business student, killing it with the music game. Ashton, welcome back, and tell us about the next song we'll be listening to.
This one's called Friend of a Friend, and I think all the songs that I'm playing here are songs that I've written after coming out of a rut, but I remember this one especially I felt really proud of. I was listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell, and I always get so excited when I start like getting an obsession to somebody that I've never heard before. So I was kind of getting down on myself for not writing as much as I used to. And then I was like, oh, what if I write a song about that? And then it clicked, and that's what this song is.
Have you been writing like a lot of your songs recently? Like, has there been? We talked about flow state a little bit ago. Like, do you feel like you've been in a flow like recently?
Since Lampshade Blues, I think I've definitely gotten more into a tiny bit of a rhythm. But definitely I haven't felt as flowy as I have before I came here, just because I feel like, new area. Totally. There's like so much going on,
Yeah, that'll come though. There'll be a day that'll come. So we're gonna listen to "Friend of a Friend" with Ashton Blaiir here on KCPR. And Ashton, whenever you're ready.
Friend of a friend meets me at ends, tells me I'm wrong and the things that I own I just scrap. Oh, that is so once in my grasp. Slip through the rain like a baby unnamed, newly nude and afraid come day he's made. Oh, if baby had stayed, I'd be able to play. Say a prayer that he'll live till the end of his days. Say a prayer that there's still something left here to say. It could be me, leaving bruises on his knees. He meets my eyes,
spends my lies, hollows them out in the dark, spits out the seeds, then he runs in the trees and he's gone. The one who had ran meets me again, but his lips have another intention than him when he says, I didn't know I could be a man. Lifts up his head to be taken a bed. In the morning he grew and left his best. Oh, and that's when he said all the time he had been just a friend of a friend.
Woo! Okay, I've been asking you this for all of your songs, but I want to hear the writing process for Friend of a Friend as well.
Yeah.
Maybe even some of like, I think there's some like dissonance in the chords or like the chord progression.
Yeah.
I wish I had better vocabulary for it,
No,
but definitely some sort of diminished something. Like, can you just tell me about
something there for sure?
Something there for sure.
I think one way that I really try and push myself to write new songs is to use different tunings. So that one was a really weird tuning. I'm a whole step down. I always play a whole step down than most guitarists, and then I feel like whenever I go jam with somebody, like throws everybody off. But I write a whole step down, and then I change the strings. I just kind of move little pegs until it sounds good. And so when you change the tuning using alternate tunings, you can still use like the same or similar shapes that you're normally accustomed to, but they sound a little different. And so that's why.
Do you mind giving us an example of that?
Yeah. So this is normally, would be a normal C chord on the guitar, very clear. But then I took the bottommost string and I tuned it down to a low C, and then I tuned the high E string to a D. So then, as opposed to just this very clear, like you know what you're getting, now you have
ooh,
a little spicier. And that's so simple, everybody can do it. And then like all these different chord shapes that I use, I actually don't know like the name of them. So if I wanted to bring these songs to other people, like chord charts and stuff, like I'd have zero idea what to do because I'm just moving my fingers around. Just a very like intuitive way. I think that's the number one thing about the songwriting process for me is I want to try and keep it as intuitive as possible, because the moment you start thinking too much, it just gets in the way of what you want to say.
Yeah. So with Friend of a Friend, you're changing the tunings of your strings a little bit. Yeah. Are you trying to invoke a certain emotion with like the tuning you chose and that ended up with and what emotion is that?
Yeah. I mentioned I was listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell. I was listening to her record Blue. And so I was thinking of the color blue a lot. It's like cool tones. And I remember when I changed that tuning to, there's like a melancholy to it. It's not super sad, but it's also not super like, clear as the normal tuning. And so I really enjoy that sound.
Yeah, it definitely added a bit of spice, as you said, to the song, and I really enjoyed it. We have one more original coming up. We're going to listen to some music here on KCPR, give him a time to change tuning if he needs to, maybe take a water break. But we're going to be here with Ashton Blaiir for a little bit longer, so stay tuned to KCPR. Coming up right now is Isn't She Lovely by Tom Misch. Still here with Ashton Blaiir. Up next is Mistakes by the Charities. Then we're going to have a quick little ad break and then get back into the music with Ashton's song Covered in Sugars. So stay tuned to KCPR for that. Right now, Mistakes by the Charities.
Oh, I made all the mistakes I could make tonight. Hey, just heard the word from someone I used to see. People dancing, playing music in the streets. So there's always something going on. Oh yeah, always playing our favorite song. Oh, I took all of the things I can take tonight. Oh, tonight. Ain't got no money, but you know we love to dance. Then I'd go back, oh no, I gotta go take the chance. 'Cause there's always something going on. Oh no, always playing our favorite song. Oh, I broke all of the rules I could break tonight. Tonight is gonna change our lives. Tonight will surely change my life. Yes, I made all the mistakes I could make
Welcome back to KCPR. We're here with Ashton Blaiir. My name is SKAPE. I'm on Sunday mornings, 10 to noon, and sometimes I have live artists on the show. Super happy to have Ashton on the show today. He's been playing a solo set. He's played 3 songs so far, but he's also in a band. Ashton, can you tell me about your band?
Yeah. I'm in a band with 2 other guys. Shout out Mateo. Shout out Luke, if you guys are listening. Our band is called The Retrievers because our good bandmate Mateo has a golden retriever that we bring to shows and like just hangs out with us. And yeah, it's our band. We do mostly at the moment covers, kind of folk, pop, rock adjacent stuff. But we're trying to pivot more into like an originals band. So look out for that.
Sure, yeah. I was going to ask you what the difference in sound was between your solo stuff and your band stuff. It sounds like it's a little different.
Yeah.
Do you kind of enjoy having that separation? Like, I'm writing my own like folk inspired stuff on the side or like on my own.
Yeah.
And then I can play this totally different sound and explore this whole different world with the band.
Sure. With the band, I play electric guitar. And I think naturally that kind of lends you into a different space. Because Mateo covers the acoustic guitar. And Mateo is a phenomenal songwriter in his own right, by the way, who's, I think he actually inspired me partly with Lampshade Blues. Because coming in here, before I'd met him, I was like super like music theory dense, like, okay, I need to have like this like minor 7 flat 5 here or else it wouldn't work. And then I met him and then he just like, he has such an intuitive sense. Like we'll be like workshopping something together and then he'll just like hum it. And then I'll be like, oh, can you do that? And I was like, oh, dude, that's like amazing. How did you do that? He's like, I don't know, I just thought of it, you know? So I think meeting him is like really tapped that in. But yeah, with the band, it's definitely more, it's a more like thick sound just because there's so like many more people. And with that, there's more power and I really like that. But at the same time, like you said, I also like having like just a little whispery kind of solo time.
I think finding that balance between having a lot of very music theory heavy, I guess, approach to music and then having it more intuitive, like what just sounds good, what feels good. Yeah. Like finding that balance is really important.
100%.
Because I'm a big Jacob Collier fan.
Oh.
How do you feel about Jacob Collier?
It's over. That guy is not human.
He is like Mozart. He's crazy. But a lot of people won't like his music because they feel like it's very too intricate or too like, I'll hear them say like he's trying too hard, which I don't like. But I kind of get where they're coming from where like sometimes you just got to play like what feels right and what sounds good.
Yeah. But I think he does all that because it sounds good. Like, I
think so too. I think so too. But there is a balance.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you're playing like very intricate, like minor 5 with a flat 7 and a sharp 9.
Yeah. It just gets like
people, listening to the music who don't know music are like, and that just sounds weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that.
You know.
Yeah.
We have math rock, so.
But shout out the Retrievers.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys plan to do anything fun over spring quarter? Something people can look forward to for the Retrievers?
We are not anything like super concrete, but we definitely one goal that we both have, the band and me and everybody involved. We just want to play as much as we can, wherever we can find. If anybody says like, "Oh, we want you to play," we're just gonna say yes.
Yeah,
you know, could
dope.
be in the cellar.
So we can get into your last original. This is Covered in Sugars. While you get set up about it, can you just tell us a little bit about what to expect with the song, why you wrote it, and what it means to you?
I think this song is one of those songs. Like for most of my songs, I have like I remember the process very well. But this one, I have like zero idea where I came from. It's like I don't feel like I wrote this song, and I don't think I could write another one like this. Something just like happened. I was listening to a lot of like Nick Drake, and there's like very like intricate acoustic parts. And I was like, I want to write something like that, but I don't know how. And then like eventually it just like started coming out. Again, another alternate tuning. I have both the top and the bottom string tuned to the same low C, I think. And that again kind of pushes you more. So any songwriters, tune your strings differently, man.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready, we can get into that. This is Covered in Sugars. We're here with Ashton Blaiir, if you're just tuning in. And Ashton, feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Covered in sugar, wrapped in plastic. And each time I'm asking for a favor, you're too sweet to bring up all the sins. And so much sand has fallen to the other side that I pretend to know that you'll come and go. But I don't know, no. Just watch him cry. Leave him dry. And I've no need for deeper pockets. You'll pull me back with another try. Another life, I'm dreaming of another kind where I pretend to know that I'm good to go. But I don't know, no.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. I can definitely hear the Nick Drake. I can hear a little bit of some Pink Moon in there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that finger picking was really great in the beginning. I love that so much. So, let's get these mics going. Okay, there we go. So that was your last original.
Yeah.
Do you kind of, let's see, do you have like a favorite song that you've written?
Favorite song that I've written?
Yeah.
It changes every time. I feel like every new song that I write becomes my favorite song. But I really love, I think, Train Song, because that was like a watershed moment for me where I was really like delicate and conscious of the words I was using. I think of it as like an Edward Hopper painting. He's the guy who did like the painting of like the cafe at night. I think I really wanted to try and capture this like a scene, and I think I was really proud of what came out of it because I was super intentional with like every word, and I feel like before that song I wasn't just kind of like throwing words at the wall. But with that song, from that moment on, I was like, oh, okay, like I can be careful and like take my time with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like I've asked a lot about the sonics of your music, but I haven't really asked too much about the lyricism.
Yeah.
So what's your approach to lyricism, and how do you approach putting words in that way?
Yeah, I think it always ties back to intuition, and I think sometimes that might lead you, or at least leads me somewhere, to words or images that might not exactly, like they sound a little like surreal or impressionistic sometimes. So it's hard for some people to like get to the bottom of what I'm trying to say. But I think it's more interesting for me to kind of leave everything a little more like open. I think what I really like is just like throwing images at people, because I think that's like the kind of music I like, where I give you like enough to think about, but you fill in the rest of the scene. Like that's your job, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there a common motif across your songs in your lyricism?
I used this word before, like evasiveness.
Yeah.
I feel like if these songs were people, they'd like want to dart into a brick alleyway, you know.
Do you see yourself in that way, like outside of music?
Sometimes. You know, sometimes you can have a really good, loud day, and some other days you just want to like not talk to anybody. That's
Sure.
how it is, you know.
Totally, yeah. On those days, like, do you kind of find yourself going back into music and using that as like a space of expression?
Yeah, 100%. It always goes back to, like, at least for me, trying to say something or, you know, eloquate what I want to say. And I think music does that in a way where I can say what I want to say and, like, speak my mind, kind of air my grievances, and nobody will know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of impenetrable.
I talked with this artist once, Caleb Nichols, and he was really big on, like, sometimes you can like hide behind your lyrics, and that's really nice.
Yeah.
Like you can be writing almost in like this third person, like
100%.
I'm talking about someone else, even though those experiences are mine.
Yeah.
I can kind of put that onto this character I created for this song.
100%.
And that's like a really nice way to express it.
Yeah. He's on Kill Rock Stars, that label, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Great
He's also
label.
a lecturer at Cal Poly.
Oh.
Fun fact.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But he's on Kill Rock Stars. That's like Elliott Smith's label, I'm pretty sure, right?
That's how I know that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're a big Elliott Smith fan, huh?
Big Elliott Smith fan.
I did see the YouTube Elliott Smith covers.
Thanks.
When I was doing my research this morning.
I never get a chance to do Elliott Smith covers on stage because I don't want to bring like the mood down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's like my little space to do them.
Sure, totally, yeah. So you can check out Ashton Blair's music on YouTube too. Little shout out right there.
Yeah.
Before we get into this last cover, can you give the audience maybe places they can find you or where they can check out your music?
At the moment, I don't have any like release music out yet. So all those songs that I played, I have like the instrumentals recorded. I have to like lay down the vocals and like I have to find some time to do that. But that will be out eventually on streaming platforms. In the meantime, you can find me on YouTube and on Instagram with the same handle. It's just my name, Ashton Blaiir. The Blaiir is Blaiir, because it looks cooler that way.
Where does Blaiir come from? Because that's not your last name. Is that your middle name?
That is my second first name. If you think of it like Mary Jane, it's like Ashton Blaiir. So you should be, if you want to be like super proper, hey, Ashton Blaiir, but I don't, it's too long.
Oh, got you. Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That is good to know for you listening out there. So we're going to get into this last song. It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, which is a Bob Dylan cover. Oh!
I brought a toy with me.
He is setting. Wait, can you explain what you're setting up right now?
Yeah, I'm putting over this mechanism over my neck that allows me to play harmonica and guitar at the same time. It's a little party trick. One thing I realized after playing some shows is that you want to have something that throws people off. You never want people to feel like they've got the gist of what you're trying to say. You want to keep people on your toes. So that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, that's dope. It caught me really off guard when I saw you at front porch.
Perfect.
I just saw we have a photographer, Noel, in here, also a DJ at KCPR, and his face as Ashton was pulling out the harmonica was crazy. All right, let me know when you're ready, and then we can just get into it. Oh. Alrighty. We are just tuning up the guitar here. Just a reminder, we are tuned in with Ashton Blaiir. After this song, we might play one more, maybe not, but we'll talk to him a little bit. So stay through to the end of the song, and then for our conversation after. You are tuned in to KCPR on San Luis Obispo, 91.3 FM. I'm SKAPE. This is Ashton Blaiir, and this is All Over Now, Baby Blue by Bob Dylan.
You must leave now, take what you need, you think will last. But whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. Yonder stands your orphan with his gun, crying like a fire in the sun. Look out, the saints are coming through, and it's all over now, baby blue. The highway is for gamblers, better use your sense. Take what you have gathered from coincidence. The empty-handed painter from your streets is drawing crazy patterns on your sheets. This sky too is moving over you, and it's all over now, baby blue. All your seasick sailors, they're all rowing home. All your reindeer armies, they're all going home. The lover who has just walked out your door has taken all his blankets from the floor. The carpet too is moving under you, and it's all over now, baby blue. are stepping stones behind. Something calls for you. Forget the dead you've left, they will not follow you. The vagabond who's rapping at your door is standing in the clothes that you once wore. Strike another match, go start anew. And it's all over now, baby blue.
You! That was dope. Thanks. I had no idea how to like EQ a harmonica in real time. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what do I do?
On the fly.
I've never recorded a harmonica before. That was awesome. That was really cool. So why did you decide, I mean, you're talking about like kind of keeping the audience on their toes a little bit when you're playing, but how did you decide like the harmonica would be something, a tool you would use for that?
So the original thought I had to keep people on their toes was I would bring a piano. So sometimes, at least for the first front porch show I did, I brought a piano as well, and then I'd go back and forth between piano and guitar just so like people don't like, feel like they've totally understood your act just yet. And then the piano just got really too cumbersome. So I was like, oh, what else can I do? And, I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, so I realized he has the harmonica. I was like, oh, that opens up so much like, it's one simple thing, but it opens up the sonic palette up a lot more, and then it's also like, as an audience member, you're like, what is that thing around his neck? Like, how's he doing both at the same time? And I think that's just really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. So that's the end of your set, but we did get one request, one song request, and it sounded like it's something that you are asked frequently.
Yeah.
To play I Shall Be Released. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about that song and why people might love your rendition of it?
I think, so it's a Bob Dylan song. It's never been like officially released in a capacity by him, except for like bootlegs. And then the band, it's a band called The Band, they did a version of it. But I heard Jeff Buckley do a version of it off of one of his live albums, and the moment I heard that, it's just like it's a song that I think everybody can sing, and people just sing it in different ways. And when I first started singing it, I realized, I have like something here, because it's such it's a very gospel-y song, but it's very moving at the same time. And I guess I started doing it with the band backing me, and ever since then people have been like, oh, that's the guy you do the I Shall Be Released cover, right? So that's like my little gag now.
Yeah, that's how you're well known in the town, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick ad break, and then come back and listen to that, if that's okay, Ashton.
Yeah, sure.
Great. All right. So we are tuned into KCPR San Luis Obispo. I'm DJ SKAPE here with Ashton Blaiir. Stay tuned for his final song, a Bob Dylan cover.
What you doing with your phone?
Do flowers have best friends?
I don't know. Hey, look.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Support for KCPR comes in part from Slow Brew Rock, a local concert venue and brewery with a tap room and outdoor seating. Slow Brew Rock is located by the Slow Airport, and upcoming shows and events can be found at slowbrew.com/events. Support for KCPR comes in part from the Fremont Theater, a local concert venue that has been entertaining Slow since 1941. The Fremont Theater is located in the heart of downtown Slow, and all upcoming events can be found at thefremontslow.com. Are you hearing more voices on KCPR?
Having trouble keeping track of them all?
Well, we recently added 20 new DJs to the already stacked radio roster.
Go check out our new schedule on kcpr.org/schedule to find your favorite shows.
Rise and shine. You're listening to The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club on this beautiful St. Patrick's Day. I'm SKAPE, again here with Ashton Blaiir. We got one more song left, but before we get into that, Ashton, you are new to town as a transfer student. What do you think of San Luis Obispo? Music aside, like, what do you think of the town?
I think it's beautiful. I love how surprisingly tight-knit it is. I feel like I can walk anywhere and recognize at least one person. And it's just a perfect size, too. Like, not too big, not too small. Yeah, I just love it. Scenery is also great. The hills here are just, like, ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. The hills are A1, especially, like, after the storms, too, where it's all green now.
Oh, yeah.
It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
As a transfer student, I'm glad, like, you feel that way and that you feel, like, connected to the town, because sometimes that can be hard for a transfer student.
Yeah.
Bringing it back towards more, like, a musical perspective on coming into SLO. Yeah. How has entering the music scene as a transfer student been?
It's funny because I never think of myself as a transfer student. I think the one thing Cal Poly does really well, I think I can probably attribute that to, like, either WOW Week or just how welcoming people here generally are. I never feel like I've like been a step behind because I'm a transfer. Like, I feel like I'm right in the moment. So I've never felt like, oh, as a transfer, this is gonna be hard for me. I've like, the moment I set foot on campus here, I felt like I was part of the Legion.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. Yeah. Super awesome to hear. So we got one more song left. It's called I Shall... Wait, actually remind me the name.
I Shall Be Released.
I Shall Be Released. I literally forgot the name. All good. All right, so whenever you're ready, we can get into that. This is going to be our last song of the day with Ashton. Thank you for tuning in. If you are tuned in to KCPR, whether online at kcpr.org or on our airwaves, KCPR 91.3 FM. Ashton, take it away whenever you're ready.
Oh, man. This must be like the sixth time I've done this song here.
They say everything can be replaced. They say every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. They say every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. Oh, but I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above this wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. Yonder down there in this lonely crowd, there's a man who swears he's not to blame. So all day long I hear him shouting so loud, crying out that he's been framed. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. I see my light come shining from the west down
I see why people ask you to play that song, dude. That is so good. That is so good. And that concludes your, I guess, 6-song set now.
Yeah.
For KCPR. This is your first time on college radio, is that fair to say?
Yeah, first time.
Just in case you make it big, can you talk right now about like what your aspirations with music are and maybe where you're at right now versus where you hope music can take you?
At the moment, I have songs and I play every now and then, but I'd really love to. I was talking with you about this before. Like, I really love to tour. Doesn't have to be anything too grand on the scale. I just like to. I'm not a big traveler actually, but I think traveling under that capacity and in that mode with that kind of like mission in mind, I think that'd be really cool. So I'd love to do that. I kind of like going around town. People are like, "Oh, you're like the guy who does the Dylan covers." It's a nice feeling, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it feels fantastic. Did you ever play music in like San Jose area, and kind of did you ever experience that in San Jose, or is this new for you?
Yeah, so back in San Jose, I was like big into hip hop actually. So I did a lot of like production just for myself, and then I wanted to be like the next Jay Dilla. And then I just eventually I started feeling very silly about it, and then I was like, I feel like I can reach more people if I pick up my guitar, which is like kind of my roots. And it's such an immediate thing too, so I just have more fun doing that. But back there, I played a few open mics at this one coffee house, Nirvana Soul. Shout out Nirvana Soul. They're like amazing.
Shout out.
But that's and then a bar across the street from there too called Mama Kin. Shout out Mama Kin. Those places are like amazing. But that's kind of the extent. It's really here where I've started doing like longer sets, which is what I've always wanted to do. So I'm really happy.
It's cool to hear you have like kind of that production background too. Because I think that's a really cool skill and important skill if you want to keep going with music. So
sure.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on air.
Thank you for having me.
This is KCPR. We were here with Ashton Blaiir for the past hour. I'm SKAPE. This has been awesome. Where can people find you? Can you remind them one more time?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram or on YouTube under my name, Ashton Blaiir. Again, the Blaiir is spelled B-L-A-I-I-R, 2 I's, no E. That's where you can find me. In the meantime, I'll let you guys know on there if I will get my record out. So, yeah.
Yep. And this has been KCPR San Luis Obispo. We just hit the top of the hour, so we are going to be listening to some music here, non-live, just a couple songs. Coming up next is Cage the Elephant, House of Glass.
If
you
love OJ and
Toothpaste,
then you will
love
listening to 91.3 FM
KCPR
San Luis Obispo.
Why don't they call apple juice AJ?